Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Justin Hebb, drummer of The Good Depression. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, caffeinated crew? On the podcast today, I'm joined by Justin from the band The Good Depression. Not The Great Depression. Don't look that one up because that's a completely different band.
Not great, just good.
It's The Good Depression. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Very good. Very good now. I was talking about it. I was scared last night at 11 p.m. thinking I might have to tell you to reschedule, but we've pushed through.
I'm glad that you're doing better. You're looking healthy.
I'm trying. It was the Mother's Day spirit really lifted.
Yeah. Mother's energy, right?
Mother's energy. That's what you need. It was more so just making sure my mom wasn't worried about me, I think is what it was.
Yeah, they do tend to do that quite a bit. And I mean, for good reason, right?
Yeah, because it's like they've spent so much time and money raising you and trying to make sure that you're safe and healthy. Then you become an adult and you're just taking shit care of yourself.
Yeah. Like a little business. Prosper.
Yeah. You got to hand it over and then it just goes to shit. It's like, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to eat poutine at midnight.
Oh, yeah. Can't feed me after midnight.
Well, what are you drinking today? Do you have some coffee?
I do. I have Kicking Horse coffee. It's the Three Sisters blend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a light, medium, and dark blend all together.
Just blend it.
Yeah, they just blend it all together. They're like, here you go. This is you get a bit of everything.
I used to drink Kicking Horse when I first moved to Montreal, and I used to buy all of my stuff from the grocery store.
Right.
Then I would get Kicking Horse because I was like, this is the coolest looking one in the grocery store.
Yeah, that was the appeal to me too. You know what? Try it out. I like to try everything, but so far it was like the best tasting brand that I've had there.
They have a light one called Ola, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
And that one's, I used to like that one.
What about yourself? You got a coffee?
I got a coffee. Oh, brother, I got a coffee.
Yeah.
So I work for a coffee roaster called Balance. I've put this disclaimer out before. This is in no way, shape, or form sponsored by Balance, but I did get this coffee from the roaster to drink today. This is our super special micro lot called Paraiso. It's from Calca in Colombia. It's a pink bourbon. This is going to be lost on some people, but then some people are going to be like, oh shit, that sounds so good. It's an anaerobic process and it has notes of rose, lavender, raspberry, lychee. Lychee or lychee? Are those two different things?
I believe it's lychee, but
is it like Lychee is one, and then there's another one that's Litchi?
Oh, I haven't heard of that. I know lychee like the little ball fruit.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Is that what that is?
I don't know. This is in French.
Yeah, we got a problem.
You don't happen to be fluent, do you? And passion fruit. It's got some passion fruit stuff. I don't know if there's a difference between the two of these. Hang on. Let's do a little investigation. It's the same. It's just in French.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it's lychee.
Yeah. French have a weird way of going about like different translations, except shampoo. It's just shampooing on the bottle.
Mm-hmm. Conditioner, I think, is the same. It's like condition or something like that.
Yeah. It's
or conditionné. Yeah. But it has to happen. It has to be that way.
It does. Yeah. There's got to be some sort of rule about it.
But yeah, this coffee, it tastes like, it's got like a lot of that rose and lavender in the cup. But when you grind it and smell it, it smells like, I would say it smells more like guava than passion fruit.
Okay.
but it's definitely got that kind of soury, citrusy, but sweet passion fruit taste. It's really good. I've been drinking it for a week or two now at the roaster, and it's been interesting to kind of with each roast it gets dialed in a little bit more and a little bit more. And I think this was the last pass, and it was really we got a lot of the good flavor and notes out of it. So I'm happy how it turned out.
It's nice and fine tuned. All right. So now, are you a black coffee drinker?
Yes, I do pour overs though.
I see. Okay.
But how do you brew?
I use a French press.
Nice.
That's just straight to the cup from there.
So you're black. You like it black too.
I'm a black coffee drinker. Yeah.
Were you ever like a double kind of guy?
So funny enough, one of the first jobs I had growing up was at Tim Hortons, and you don't really appreciate like the coffee culture when you're younger, right? It's not until you're older, I guess you get a defined taste for it. But yeah, I was like a double guy, just drinking that shit.
Hamilton on the podcast has had its fair share of Tim Hortons representation.
Yeah, I believe it. I feel like if you're from Hamilton, then the only thing you know about coffee, unless you look into it, is just Tim Hortons until Starbucks became relevant in Canada.
It's true.
But yeah, that was my first experience with coffee.
Was that the first Tim Hortons?
No, it was pretty close though. It's probably like a 15-minute walk away. They have them every corner here in Hamilton. So
I feel like once you cross from Montreal, because Montreal's just got so much coffee and it's so, metropolitan, and we have our other brands that are from here like Van Hout, and Second Cup is all over the place, which also fuck those guys.
Yeah.
Once you cross into Ontario, it's Tim's haven.
Oh, absolutely. It's Tim Hortons everywhere.
Yeah. And Wendy's.
I mean, I don't mind Wendy's, but I feel like Tim Hortons owns a good plot of Ontario.
Tim and Dave, they've just really connected and monopolized the corners of Ontario.
They're cornering the market of that business.
These two old white guys, they just run it.
Yeah.
Would you say, so when you go to a shop, let's say it's not Tim's, it's like let's keep it in Hamilton. So you've got let's say like Synonym. You walk into Synonym.
Okay.
What's your coffee order?
Honestly, I'll go for just a black Americano.
Okay.
Just a simple shot, and that's it. Usually I'm in and out anyways.
Okay.
But yeah, I like to keep it easy. I'll experiment though. I'm not afraid to try new things.
You'll dip your toes in the waters.
In the black waters, yeah.
This is okay. So I also have a question because I do work in a cafe and I'm there all the time. And there are people that come in every day and get filtered. And then there are people that walk in every day and get Americanos.
Okay.
Why would you pick an Americano? And this is a general, like a genuine question. This isn't like an I told you so. Why would you pick an Americano over filter coffee? I'm just curious to know.
I'm not too certain, to be honest. I feel like it's just, to me, Americano is just a shot of espresso that's watered down, basically. Yeah. As far as unfiltered coffee, I'm not too knowledgeable on that. So you kind of stumped me there.
Like filter coffee, like it's a big batch brew.
Right.
Like a drip coffee thing.
Okay.
So it's similar to like your French press or like
right.
It's just that they make it in a bigger batch, I guess.
I see.
So I've always just been curious to know why like people who get an Americano every day would pick that over. I wasn't sure if it was like flavor or strength or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not certain. I'll definitely have to try unfiltered, and
Just
and
you
I'll
gotta
get
go
back
in.
and be like, I think I'm making the switch. I'm gonna
So
unfilter.
yeah, you get a smallest filter and the smallest Americano, and then you sip one, you sip the other, and you're like,
They're like,
what
that
am
guy's been in here for 3 days scratching his head.
I?
Figure what's going on.
You have to buy something else. You can't just buy an Americano on a drip.
Yeah, they would kick me out. They'd be like, this guy's got to go.
You're banned. You're done.
How am I going to conduct my experiment now?
I have all these notes. Have you been to Steeltown Garage?
I actually haven't. It's one place I've been meaning to check out because I see it on social media all the time, and I have quite a few friends that go there, and it looks like an awesome place. Like I really like the aesthetic of it, and I don't know. It's one of those things that I look at and I'm like, I just want to see it. I got to see it in person.
Mm-hmm.
How about yourself?
I've stumbled in there. Last time I played Hamilton, we went there and then we went to Synonym. Synonym, goated, best shop in Hamilton. I will fight. I will fist fight people that want to argue and tell me Rooney's is better. Kyle, shut the fuck up. That's not true. We stumbled in a Steel Town. Super nice staff. There's one drink and one drink only that you have to get.
What's that?
I think it's called a red eye. It's a can of Red Bull and it's poured onto a glass of ice and then 2 shots of espresso, like it's just a double shot.
That's, you know what that reminds me of? So there's this meme going around, and basically what it is, it's a monster poured in like a pint glass with Guinness on top. And it says, "What's wrong, babe? You barely touched your Gonster." I thought that's fucking funny, but
I'd fucking try that shit. That sounds so good. A white monster and then Guinness over it.
that's your heart's gonna be racing at unexplainable speeds after that.
It's worth it.
Well, you got to try it.
It's for science.
Can't say no.
It's for science.
Monsters all the way, all night.
I do love that Monster makes slim cans now. They make like not the giant Kyle, Chad.
Biggest can they've ever seen.
Well, they went that direction first, and then they're like, "Oh, people don't want excess anymore," and then they're like, "We'll make half size cans." So I fuck with that.
I think it's a good business maneuver for them. I mean, like I like buying a small can of Red Bull every now and then. So I wouldn't want the biggest size imaginable. I'm not going to Costco for my Red Bulls, right?
You should though. It's cheaper.
They should in that sense, yes.
It's like $1 a can as opposed to $4.
It's insane the markup, right?
I'm just fine. It's fine with me. I still think like, so now you have homework. I need to know, because I won't be going to Hamilton anytime soon to try this, but I need somebody, whether it's you or you pawn it off to somebody, like somebody's got to go try that drink at Steeltown and come back to me like, I had a heart attack, or
I'm in the hospital right now.
literally right now. The tasting notes were, punch a hole through the wall with raspberry. You know what I mean? Like I need to know what the vibe is.
I mean, I guess now I have the perfect excuse to go there.
Ain't that the truth?
Just bring my health card with me and we'll try it out.
Just pre-call 911. It's just on speed dial.
I have a friend that's a paramedic. Maybe I'll get her to drive me in the ambulance there.
Anybody need a Red Bull with a shot of espresso while we're here? Yeah, that's great. Well, like I said, you got homework. You got to go and do the Americano drip test and then follow it up with a Red Bull.
It sounds like it's an action-packed day for what it is. It's just me going into different shops, but
just another day on tour.
Just heart beating fast. That's it.
Then you're going to switch to playing black metal.
Should.
Just
I would love to.
Straight blast beats all day.
Some blast beats.
Do you remember your first drum kit?
I do. I actually still have it.
What is it?
It's it's like a beater Ludwig kit. It's just like it's a starter kit. Um, the thing must have been around for 20 years now because I played in a band with the two other guys in the Good Depression, and our drummer ended up quitting, so that band fell apart. But in about 4 years from then, he would end up selling me that drum kit. And so that's when I have just kicking around. And he actually got it from somebody else that used it for a number of years. The drummer from a band called 40 Sons and Daughters, I believe. They were big around here at the time. I'm not sure if they're even around anymore, but that's it. That's my first kit.
Is it like the Accent series or is it pre-Accent series?
I think it is an Accent series because the snare that came with it, it's just like this shit ass steel snare that like you couldn't make it sound good if you tried.
Damn.
So it is the Accent series. It's got the it's like it's not even like a vinyl wrap or anything. It's like a plastic, and it's just like cracking off. I thought about taking it off and refinishing it, but got a lot on the plate at the moment, so that'll definitely be a hobby for one day.
Is it even worth the time at that point?
I don't know. I mean, I ended up using the kick again because the one that I have currently, well, not currently anymore. I bought it again. It fell out of the back of a trailer when we were coming back from out east, and it was gone in the middle of the night.
Damn.
Yeah, I was heartbroken about that, but so the Ludwig came back out of retirement for a little bit.
What are you on now?
I use a Tama Star Classic.
That is the correct answer.
Yeah, it's the only kit you ever need.
Is it a maple or like a walnut birch?
It's a birch and something else.
Babinga?
It's not Babinga. I wish it was. It might be a walnut birch.
That's like the performance. Like they came out with the maple, and then I think they did the walnut birch is like one of the newer-ish ones.
Yeah, so it is it's the performer series that they released. I'd say maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah,
just like all new colors and everything. So I saw the molten blue steel one, and I was like, hell yeah, that thing's sick. And that's what I went with.
those are the best kits.
Always heard great things about them. I've played Tama prior, but it was one of those things. It's like you don't want to spend $4,000 on something until you know what you want, right?
Right. Did you buy it new?
I did, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was the happiest day of my life.
I share a jam space with a band called Death Nap, and Elliot, the drummer, has his is not maple, his is birch walnut too, I believe.
Okay.
But it's like the exact same size as mine, which I have the maple, but mine's from 2008, 2009.
Right.
So the year they stopped making them in Japan and started making them in China.
Yes.
But it sucks because it's old and sounds great, but I can't find any floor toms or rack toms that match the color.
Oh, you're saying, so are you missing pieces to the kit, or are you
I want to add them. I want another floor tom.
What size floor tom do you use now?
I have a 16.
Okay.
But I want like either 18 or a 14.
Oh man. I have a 14 as well as a 16. I use my 16. I do 3-piece. But it came with 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't need a 10-inch tom. You know what I mean? For what we play, it's like, it's a little much. But an 18-inch floor tom, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I just tracked Bruiserweight's EP this past week, like the weekend past, and the drummer used his kit for the first time, and it's DW Collectors.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it sounds incredible. He got it for like way less than he should have, but it's a 20-inch kick.
Oh yeah.
And he really, I accommodated as much as I could because he wanted to use two racks, his 14-inch floor, and then my 16.
Right.
So it took the channel count from like 12 channels, maybe 10 to 12 channels of drums to 14.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I was almost maxed out. But I will say that the 10 really did, like, he made it fit.
It cuts through. I feel like with the sizes, like sonically, you have every kind of drum sound you would need there, right? It's a lot of just up and down the scale, I guess.
Yeah. We had to spend a lot of time tuning, like getting the intervals really just like,
oh yeah,
where it fit well. But the two floors, we were able to tune that 14 really low. Yeah. And then the 16, we just bottomed it out
and tightened it.
Literally, yeah. It's a quarter crank above hand tight. And just,
I bet it sounds amazing though.
Like a UFO drum.
You ever, so you tracked with them, what would you use for dampening? Have you ever tried the cotton ball trick inside the floor toms or the rack toms?
So he did cotton balls in his 14.
Yeah.
In my 16, I have a moon gel that's on the resonant in the inside.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
So that's really kind of fixed. And I like that it's not a bunch of shit just bouncing around.
Yeah.
But it just kind of sits in there and it's really done well. And I have a couple of the Evans EQ pads.
Right. Those are the kind of rectangular, harder ones, right?
Yeah. They're really dense.
Yeah.
But for everything else, it's the Meinl drum gum.
Okay. I actually I haven't seen too much about those, but I have seen the Evans, those little pads. I want to try them, but usually I'm like moon gel.
Yeah.
And it's okay, but like shit sticks to it and then it gets all dirty and you're like, okay, well,
it's nasty. You throw it in the trash. You can wash it, but you just throw it in the trash.
I had one on my snare. I was changing my head and it was just, it looked brown and it was like a piece of shit. And I threw it at the ceiling in our jam space. And I'm pretty sure it's just still hanging off the ceiling there. And, I should probably take it down.
Do you follow Samus?
No, I don't.
6'6" Samus. He's from, I think he's from Winnipeg, maybe.
Okay.
He's a Canadian. He's a Canuck. But he does like a lot of metal. He's been on YouTube for a long time. He does a lot of like unboxing. He's sponsored by Pearl. So he's always doing like Pearl unboxing and stuff like that.
Right.
But one of his early tricks, because he plays with a lot of triggers, like he triggers all of his toms.
Oh man.
And he'll mic his snare and everything, but he uses the sticky hands.
Oh yeah, I've seen people do that.
He's like, you get them for the dollar store and they're way cheaper than moon gels.
That's crazy, right? Like,
yeah, but it's the same.
You just walk up to those little crank machines with a loony.
I think you can get packs at the dollar store for like from Dollarama for nothing.
I'm gonna have to try this out. I'm spending like $14 on like 5. You know what I mean?
The EQ, the Evans ones are like 30.
Yeah, it's insane. But those are like bricks.
Yeah, they're very, very sturdy.
Yeah.
Trying to peel them off is impossible.
Yeah. Good luck with that. You need like paint thinner or something. And then your head's just screwed after that.
I have a scraper. I'm like paint scraping the
just on a fucking head.
Yeah. It's part of it.
Yeah. That's it. It's cohesive now.
The minor ones are the cheapest. I think they're like $10.
Really? Okay. I haven't seen them. So I have a Long and McQuaid down the street from my house. If I ever need anything, I just run in there. Their selection isn't the best for drum gear or anything. There's like another location in Burlington that I usually go to. Mm-hmm. But if I'm in like a need of a quick fix, I'll just go there and pick out what I need.
The St. Catharines one is sick.
Yeah, I've been to it once, but it's funny when you're a musician and like you go into a store that you know where everything is and you're looking for something and then you go to a different location and you're like kind of low key judging their layout. You're like, well, I mean,
why is this here?
well, guitars can just go over there, but
I need to speak with the store manager. Your layout is ass. Like
absolutely fucked.
when it's like not a drum guy running the drum department, that's my favorite. That's like a classic Guitar Center move.
Oh, 100%. They're like, well, you can check over there for sticks or you need beaters for your kick. I think they're over there. And you go over there and there's nothing. It's like, there's tambourines. You're like, okay.
Or like you're asking the drum guy, like, oh, I'm recording this music. I want to get a snare that has this sound. And it's like clearly the sound that you need from like a copper. And they're recommending like a maple, like piccolo. And I'm like, this is not the drum thing. This is not it.
An 8-inch snare.
I need lots of crack. Let's get you an 8-inch, boss.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah. Man. I actually want to buy one so bad.
What do you want?
One of those little 8-inch. I think they were selling a Mapex one or even like a Tama one. Just been watching. Have you ever heard of Dan Mayo or Dan Mayo?
No.
Plays in a band called starts with a T. I think it's Tatron. But he's Tatron. He's an amazing drummer. He does these sets, like solo sets, and he mics his kit up to a pedal board and he like modulates all the sounds through there. And he's got like all these like crazy bells and like, looks like somebody just welded a bunch of shit together for him. He just hits it. It sounds amazing.
That's sick.
Yeah.
He's got an 8-inch snare, like an 8-inch diameter snare.
Yeah. So it's just like a fat little crack. And it's like the way his stick just rolls on it for like 10 seconds. It's insane.
There's do you remember the 808 Pacific drums? They made the 808 series.
Yes.
And they've got the side snare that you get as a 10-inch by 8-inch.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's like what Sanguis Sugabog uses.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So good.
I mean, right now I use a Yamaha Recording Custom. It's like an aluminum snare. It's like a 14. I believe it's like maybe 8-inch. But I'd love to have just like a tiny little guy. You know what I mean?
The Chris Adler Mapex, like the Warbird.
Yep.
I played on one because I literally played Cornwall one time and the first song, the snare head just completely breaks. So luckily the other band let me use their snare and it was a Warbird and I was like, I kind of love this. I hate Mapex, but I love this snare.
Yeah, I feel the same. The Mapex, it's just like Long and McQuaid kind of.
Yeah, it's trash.
Right. But I mean, Chris Adler, man.
Chris Adler.
Yeah. You know that snare's going to sound good.
If you pay like $6,000 for a Mapex kit, you're stupid, but it's going to sound good.
It sounds good. I don't know if I believe in the brand enough, you know, like there's just something about it. To each their own, but it's just not for me, I guess.
Yeah. Explain to us why you like Mapex. How about that? Put it in the comments. Let's hear it in the chat. Again, genuine curiosity. I had a drummer like after high school. I played in a band. Actually, this is a good way to segue to this because the Good Depression. I don't know if you know this. I'm gonna just like maybe throw some for fans of like He Is Legend. There's a little bit of that. Norma Jean.
Yeah.
Haste the Day, early Haste the Day, I would say.
Ooh. I like Haste the Day. Yeah.
Early Haste the Day.
More so, what was that album? I remember they're doing it was like Scream the Prayer tour.
Yes, that's the era I'm thinking.
That was a good era for them.
Oh Sleeper. Let's drop that one in there.
I'm not too familiar, but I know some of the other guys are.
So this is very much when you sent me the email and I'm listening to the band and I'm like, who gave them the right to come for Southern metal, Southern style, Alabama, Georgia, 2009 metalcore? Who signed off on that? Because I played in a band that very much would have toured with the Good Depression in 2010.
That's awesome to hear. I love that.
Yeah. So it strikes a very sentimental chord with me when I turn on, what is it? Something Violent in the Way. And it came out like a month ago.
Yeah.
And it sounds like shit I was listening to as a 15-year-old. And I was like, giddy hands. Thank God there's people still making this kind of music.
That's the best reaction we could hope for, right?
Yeah, I love that. All that to say, he played a Mapex, and it was not the worst sounding drum kit.
I mean, I don't know. It's just something there. The sound's there, but they just need better branding. They should do like spicy ads. Like get somebody that's like good at writing. Like make some like 5 gum commercial shit for Mapex.
It's going to be like a blind sound test, like where it's like, listen to this drum. Now listen to this drum. Which one do you like more? And the Mapex one is the one you like more.
Yeah, exactly.
Or do like Mapex, the brand you don't want to buy, but the one your parents could afford. Something like that.
God. The second one, if I saw that, I'd be in tears because it's a little jab,
But it's in good fun. You know what I mean? It's like moshing. It's like crowd killing. It's in good fun. We're not mad about it.
You're there to have fun, right?
There for the vibes.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about the Good Depression, because everything, like when I'm not trying to punish here by any means. Like I'm a Christcore kid. I grew up listening to like early Attack when they were Christian. Okay. And Under Oath, and Define the Great Line is my favorite Under Oath album. So so that should put it in. Everybody should see where we're at here. Right. So when I tell you that the Good Depression is everything I would have hoped for in a band in 2010, like how, why?
I mean, when we sit down and write or just jam, we just want to play the stuff that like piques our attention. You know what I mean? It's like we want to write the songs that we want to listen to.
Right.
And I feel like that's the easiest way to do it, not having to like appeal to a crowd or whatever. Because some of the songs that we write, some are more like rock. Like Sex Act is like it feels like a rock song, but it's got like raw vocals on it. And there's some more Southern songs, and then there's like Something Violent in the Way is probably like one of the heavier songs where it's like we just take something that we want to do and put a sound to it, right? I believe like whatever we want to put out, we're just going to put out. And we just draw from our inspirations, like bands. Like we'll hear something and be like, man, that's sick.
Yeah.
Gotta run with something like that. Try not to rip them off or anything.
Right. You just need to sprinkle a little of that.
Remember when we were first starting out, we would listen to A Sight for Stone Eyes is like one of our inspirations, and they're Canadian, and they were like one of those bands that you go and see and they should have just like blown up. I know they have recognition, but they deserve so much more.
Right.
And so we listen to things like that, and we kind of take a little bit of that. I'd say Norma Jean too. Like growing up listening to Norma Jean, we're like, this is awesome. Like, who doesn't want to play music like that?
I still go back and listen to like Redeemer and Meridional.
Oh yeah. Those are like classic albums, right?
Yeah. Like I love the Chariot in that early like Josh era Norma Jean as well. But the path that Norma Jean ended up taking without Josh being the insane frontman that he is and going the Corey direction with the singing and, you know, some of that rock shit in there.
Yep.
And there's so much of that in what y'all are doing as well. But I think it's still delivered differently, but so good.
It's got the hints of it. It's got the notes.
It's got the what?
It's got the notes. We're like a coffee, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It's got notes of Norma Jean and
yeah.
Under Oath. Just watching hours of Aaron Gillespie playing live shows.
Single kick. That guy's a nut.
It's not single kick. He does single kick now.
Was he using double kick prior?
I saw them on Lost in the Sound of Separation tour and he had a double kick.
Oh my God, that guy's a fucking liar.
When did he say he wasn't using a double kick? There's parts on that album that have double kick.
Maybe it's out of context, but I think I listened to him on a podcast. I think it was like it's been like the Beatdown or something.
The down, right, the Craig guy, Craig.
Yeah. And you're right. I do believe there's double kick on that. There's no way. Nobody's like going ham on one foot like that. But it must be out of context or something.
He's a fucking liar. Listen, all respect to drum god Aaron, but like, let's see. I can give you the track name because it's my favorite track on Define. It's there could be nothing returning. I think it's casting such a thin shadow, I believe. What's the one that starts out where it's like the big drum fill is like
writing on the walls.
That's not writing on the walls.
Oh, okay. What the
sorry. It's hang on. I got it. This will be cut out hopefully, but this is gonna drive me.
If I look at the album, I'll know exactly what we're looking for. Let's see.
Moving for the sake of motion.
Yes. Okay.
It starts out with the
under there.
What?
There's definitely double kick there.
You can hear it.
Yeah.
Liar. Aaron,
if you hear this,
come on this podcast and tell me otherwise. I will literally do breakdown note for note.
We have to know.
I will punish you for this. The goal of the year now is to get Aaron Gillespie on this podcast. This is becoming a drum talk podcast. I'm sorry for all of my coffee lovers out there, but
everybody's got to tag him in the comments.
Let's hear it, chat.
I'm sorry, Aaron, if I hurt your feelings by saying you just use one foot and you don't. Let's find out.
I remember seeing it as a 17-year-old. I witnessed him play a double kick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, I'm going to see them in. I forget the date. Anyways, they're doing their tour now, right?
It's coming in the fall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually just saw them with Better Lovers not too long ago.
Oh, the Ghost Inside.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Didn't go to that. No. Another band that I'm like, I've seen a few times. Omerta was in town playing like a one-off show.
Heard of Omerta?
Great band.
Yeah.
So this new album, let's hear about it.
We've released 3 singles so far. So the first one was it's called Snakes and Charmers.
Mm.
And that one has Blake Prince of Teeth on it, doing some guest vocals.
Which he's also from Cypher So Nice, right? That was his band?
He was in Straight Reads the Line.
That's it, Straight Reads the Line. I keep up with some of the Hamilton lore.
Yeah, they were like, back then they were huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like the hometown hero kind of thing. But anyways.
Sorry.
No. And then Sex Act is going to be on the album and Something Violent in the Way. And we do realize after that all these songs start with S. And we're like, what the fuck did we do? I think there's 2 more songs on the album that start with S. But yeah, so the album's called Oxblood. And it comes out on June 14th. We recorded everything with Davis, Schoolhouse. It was a blast. We had a lot of fun trying out new recording techniques and stuff. Like not new to, but they were new to us. Like we tracked cymbals and shells separate. Tried that out. It was super weird. I don't know if you've ever tried that. But
I've tried wrapping my head around the idea.
it's, I mean, I get it. There's like less bleed or whatever, but it's a process.
My only thing, and this is getting a little nerdy, and I apologize to everyone listening, but as somebody who's worked in recording for a while, I like doing the cymbals and toms together because I like having room mics.
Oh, absolutely.
And so for me, I feel like it's going to be so weird trying to line up cymbals and shells and room mics together.
Yeah, you're adding one more thing into like the equation, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of creating extra work when I know how to. You could honestly just sample, like you can record shell samples after you record everything, and then when there's too much bleed, I'm not trying to tell Maxwell how to. I mean, Davis how to do his job, and I love everything he's recorded. So literally not a slight. It's just I would do it differently to make less work for myself. Anyway,
different strokes for different folks, right?
it's true. Everyone's got their own workflow, and Davis does the shells and cymbals separately, which is a Foo Fighters trick, to be fair.
So yeah, the I've heard of that. That's why we tried it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was his first time trying it too. So a little experiment.
It's cool.
We also like the entire floor of the studio was just covered in guitar pedals.
That's sick.
A lot of reamping stuff, like even running my drums through pedals, like distortion and fuzz. It was insane. There's the last track on there is like a good example of it. So I'm looking forward to dropping it. Just, we've been sitting on it for a while now, so we're already writing new songs. Got 3 songs written. I feel like it's hard dropping albums nowadays. I feel like everybody's so like focused on singles and stuff.
Yeah.
That the only way you're dropping an album is if you're fucking Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? Like, or not necessarily that big, but you have to have like a big fan base in order to make it happen.
What's even like singles, I think people do small releases here throughout the year instead of, it used to be you would drop 3 singles in an album maybe once every year or two.
Yeah.
On a Tuesday. Because this old head moment here. Music used to come out on Tuesdays. But now because of Spotify, it comes out on Fridays.
Yes.
So it's a big music industry shift within the past 5 years that happens.
How do you feel about that?
I know why it used to come out on Tuesdays, and because the music industry is so different now, they just bypassed all of that kind of. It's just everything's digital now, so they don't have to wait on tapes and proofs and things. It would come out on Tuesdays because I think that the music execs would get it. They would get it on Tuesday and then like review Wednesday, edit Thursday, and then Friday is when their reviews would drop. So that's when people would actually find out about the music.
Right.
So they just have bypassed all of that because you can send it directly to an exec.
Everything's just so much faster now, right?
It's just online. So I'm not really so much complaining about it. It's just my old head mentality is movies would drop Friday, music would drop Tuesdays.
I know for the life of me, so I'm an Apple Music guy. I know I'll probably get some hate for that, but
it sounds better.
Yeah, they have like spatial audio and everything.
Spotify sounds like ass.
I like it. I mean, when you have your library too already, you're not going to switch. Like, let's be real, man. I'm like fucking 10,000 songs. You think I'm going to like find every single one of those again? There's no way. But I get a new for you on Friday. It's like a 25 song playlist. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Spotify does the same. I'm sure they all do the same, right? Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's no good. I've heard that's why Spotify is quote unquote better. because it's suited more towards what listeners want to hear in that sort of genre.
Right.
Apple Music is like, here's like extreme deathcore because you listen to Just Neighbors or something. Like, it's the complete opposite.
You like Arm's Length. Here is Chelsea Grin's new release. It's like, whoa, that's a little much.
It's pretty extreme.
Spotify is not great. Like, it's easy and everybody uses it. And so in that sense, it's easy to share music with people and be like, listen to this release. Apple Music sounds way better. And I used to have Google Play Music.
Right.
Their algorithm was insanely dialed in. It was way better.
Really?
Yeah. And then they got rid of it. I think it's YouTube Music now, but I don't want to use that because I don't like the UI.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty confusing. I have a friend that just started using that because he's a big YouTube guy, just like myself. I mean, I'll watch series and stuff and movies, but usually what I'm watching is just YouTube.
Yeah.
My attention span is like a goldfish, and there's always something new on YouTube, right?
Yeah. It's constant content.
That's it. It's like, it doesn't stop. You know how many times I've stumbled on something and I was like last week I watched a fucking hour-long video on what kind of onions are better for what. And you know what I mean? Like,
I almost laughed so hard, but like I felt like it was going to be too loud because
I mean, like, now I'm a fucking onion aficionado, but that's the thing. It's, you just stumble on these videos and for the life of you have no idea why. And you're like,
an hour of onion talk.
An hour of my life that I'll never get back, but I just know more about onions. Like, fuck.
Do you cook a lot?
Yeah. I mean, like, no more than the other person, but
now you know what onions, shallots are for this.
Like, don't hang out with Justin. That guy smells like fucking onions all the time.
Have you ever talked to Justin? He just randomly brings up onions like in every scenario.
It's like, stop with the fucking onion facts.
Bro, we don't care about red onions. Like,
we'll be like, well, I mean, shallots, they're strong. They're really strong.
They're super strong though. Use it in a lot of Asian cooking.
They do. But yeah, so I mean,
now you're an expert.
YouTube's a great spot, man.
Okay, I have a question for you. How do you pronounce, there's a certain type of onion. It's sweet. It's from Georgia. How do you pronounce that?
Oh man.
You know what it is?
A sweet onion from Georgia.
It starts with a V.
Oh, let me look at the spelling, and then if I butcher it, then I can have my onion card revoked.
No, it's fine. It's misinterpreted everywhere. Since we're on onions, I figure I never get to ask this question to anyone.
Onion from Georgia.
It's sweet.
That starts with V.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Have you found it?
No, I'm using my wrong hand to type.
Switch it.
Vidalia?
Okay, it's close.
Idalia?
Oh, you almost nailed it. So in Georgia, we call it Vidalia.
Okay. I see. It's just the little roll off the end there.
But yeah, it's a city, or not a city by any means. It's a town.
Like a big onion city.
Every year they have a festival, and I played a show there one time, like in 2010, where they had on each lamppost, they had wooden cutouts of these onions, like zip tied to the lampposts in the city of the center of the city. Oh my God.
We'll take the stupidest shit and just run with it. Like, there's a town near us, and they do like Carrot Fest.
Hell yes. I would have that.
Like, you can cook them, you can
eat them raw.
Cake, but it's like, what's the fucking budget for Carrot Fest?
Is there bands?
I hope so. They must be singing about carrots and shit.
I mean, back home we have the Shrimp Fest.
See, that That I can get behind. Shrimp is like, if you had a poll, I bet people would be like shrimp over carrots.
I don't know. I fuck with carrots heavy.
I like carrots too, but shrimp? You've seen Forrest Gump.
You can do so much with shrimp. Boil it, fry it, gumbo, scampi,
Everything, man.
bake it. What the fuck? Eat it raw? Crazy.
So
Sushi, poke. What are you gonna do? There's so much you can do. Forrest Gump, they didn't even get into the poke. They didn't even cross over
I didn't even know what that was then
from the continent. We didn't know what it was until 3 years ago.
until they invented it.
What the hell is this poke bowl? I've never even, don't go poking me with that bowl. Uh, this has gotten way off the rails, but I'm loving it. What, what does the Good Depression have coming up, surrounding the album drop?
Uh, we're looking into kind of putting a little package together. I doubt it's going to go as far as the States, but I mean,
You
probably
guys have visas though? You get the visas.
we were looking into it. I had mine at one point, but I'm gonna have to redo it. We were planning to go to the States. We're trying to hook up with some other bands that are like they have a better following than us there. Cause I mean, obviously that's the move. But as of right now, we'll probably just do like the Ontario, Quebec package, maybe a little west. It's hard west because it's such a risk with less reward, I guess, especially being in Ontario and having to drive like that way.
Yeah.
But
Was it like a day to Winnipeg?
yeah, it's something crazy. It's like it's like a day just to get out of Ontario. So we're gonna do something, I don't know, revolving that. And we got some festivals, a couple little festivals that we're gonna do, and that's essentially it. The Ontario Golden Horseshoe area.
Yeah. Quebec City,
Yeah.
Montreal, maybe.
Montreal. I'd love to play Montreal again. It's always like a really nice time there.
Even if the show doesn't do well, at least you're in Montreal.
Yeah, the city has always got something going on.
Yeah.
It's like Toronto, but more like lively somehow.
Compact.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's dense.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as everything for the album, that's essentially it.
Oxblood,
Oxblood.
June 14th
Yep.
on Solid State Records.
Or Tooth and Nail, maybe. Or even Nuclear Blast. Let's try that.
Nuclear Blast would be dope. Century Media, maybe.
Century Media? Hell yeah.
I think it would fit on Century.
I would like that.
No label though.
No label. If we were just doing everything ourselves.
Damn.
We've talked with some, but it's just finding the right fit too.
I feel like No Funeral could be from the East Coast. Could be a.
I would love. It'd be nice to have like label support and everything. I feel like where we're at right now, it's not easier, but we just operate on like such a do-it-yourself kind of thing. Like I do most of the. I do all of the like promoting and like kind of media stuff as well as our vocalists. And then Brian does like a lot of the artwork for like painted the art for like No Funeral. He's doing Oxblood. So we keep it tight knit.
Yeah. You ain't got to reach out that far anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everything is everybody's got their own like little niche skill, right?
What's YouTube? What else is YouTube for? Learning how to.
It's not onions. You can find good music videos or how-tos.
How to make a music video.
Of an onion.
You just need YouTube and CapCut and you're good.
That's it. CapCut and YouTube. And maybe some like download some sound effects. And there you go.
Yep. Stock footage.
Absolutely.
Well, that's sick. I'm very excited to hear the rest of the album. I even like the stuff that y'all dropped before is like, I just put on the, hit play and let it roll. And
Yep.
like, there's parts, like I said, I know you haven't listened to O Sleeper, but I really think you should listen to O Sleeper's first album.
Okay.
So it was really formative for me as like a 12-year-old.
Right.
And there's like just a lot of that on there, like a lot of that nice, like, melodic guitar with like syncopation in the drums and stuff that I really like.
Yeah, I definitely, I dig that stuff. Like I feel like growing up listening like a lot of Thursday and stuff, and
Yeah.
like just like I mean like emo to like heavy stuff. I don't know. It's just like we draw our influences from all sort of walks, you know.
Mhm.
I'll definitely check out O Sleeper though.
You should. Sick. But yeah, I mean, I hope that everything goes well. You honestly, if you want to go further east, the Halifax and New Brunswick has a lot of stuff going on right now. That's cool.
Yeah, we actually we played there. I think it was last year. We did a little East Coast run with a Single Wound and another band called Targeted Individual.
I know both of those bands.
Yeah, they were. It was a good time. We had fun.
Single Wound, nice guys.
Yeah, they're awesome guys. So we're actually playing. They have a record release show coming up in Toronto. I believe it's in June. I'm not certain of the date, but we'll be on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Justin, thank you so much for the time, all of the onion knowledge that we have now. I really appreciate it.
Grayson, thanks for having me on, man.
I have one last question for you before we wrap it up.
What's that?
What is your favorite city for beans and breakdowns?
Beans and breakdowns. Favorite city?
Yeah.
Seattle.
Dope.
Yeah.
I've only gotten Seattle like once before, so.
Wearing a KEXP shirt right now.
The goats.
Yeah.
Before Audio Tree, we had KEXP.
Yeah. They walked so Audio Tree could run.
That's true.
Yep.
Literally the exact same template.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of just one-off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big respect to KEXP in Seattle and all of the post-metal bands from Seattle.
Legends.
Yes.
Legendary city with great bands.
And coffee. They are kind of like the OGs.
I had a really good coffee in that building, the KEXP building. They have a little coffee booth set up there.
Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't been out there.
It's amazing. They don't play. The new Seattle, like the Kraken, it's literally right there. You can look into the arena.
It's sick.
It's crazy.
Did you get to see any match, like a Kraken match while you were there?
When I was playing there, they were actually playing and we could look out the curtains. And because the arena is, it's like below grade, we could actually see the hockey game on the big screen there on like the big cube
While you're playing
in the green room. But
okay.
Yeah,
that's sick.
That was awesome.
I need to go out that way. I really would love to go to the West Coast again.
Yes, definitely.
So chill.
Portland is awesome. I mean, Seattle's awesome. I love the West Coast.
Chill vibes.
Yep, absolutely. It's like here.
Justin, again, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Grayson.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Justin for hanging out on the podcast. Be sure to check out the newest singles from The Good Depression. They have their upcoming album, Oxblood, coming out in June. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.